All right, get ready. We're going deep on a story that, well, it's going to grab you. I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a film directed by Walter Sells.
Sells, yeah.
You know him, right? Central Station.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That one still gets to me.
Yeah, that was powerful.
Powerful filmmaking. And this I'm Still Here, it's based on a true story, too, about this Brazilian congressman who disappears after the coup in 64.
Intense.
But here's the thing. We see it all through his family's eyes.
Interesting. You don't see that too often, do you?
No, you don't. Usually it's all about the politician, the big events.
Right, the revolution.
But this one, it's the people left behind, trying to make sense of it all.
Must be tough.
And Sells, he doesn't hold back either, showing how their whole world just shatters.
I can imagine.
It starts with this happy family scene, kids running around, music, pure joy, almost like an old home movie. One of those shot on 16mm film.
Oh, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, very intentional.
Totally. Sells is a master at that. Bringing in those nostalgic bits. It makes it real,
Grounding it before
all is wrong, yeah.
Exactly. And by starting with that, almost like a perfect family, the darkness that comes hits harder.
Exactly. It's like he wants us to feel how much they lose.
Makes sense.
And then, boom, the coup.
Wow.
You actually see tanks in the streets of Rio. Soldiers busting into homes. It's scary stuff.
I bet. Especially knowing it really happened.
Right?
Heavy.
And that shift from happy family to that's what makes it so effective, I think. It doesn't just tell us about the politics. It throws us right in there with them.
With the family.
Right in the middle of it.
Wow. So you've got this political backdrop. You've got this family just trying to exist. And then on top of it all, there's this mystery. The missing congressman.
It's a lot, right? But it works somehow.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it doesn't feel overwhelming.
No, it doesn't.
It sells. He's so good at that.
Right. It's like he uses the family to show us the bigger picture.
Exactly. Like their struggle is what the whole country's going through.
Yeah. And got to mention Fernanda Torres. She plays the wife, Eunice.
Oh, yeah.
She's amazing. There's this scene, it's early on, after Rubens, the husband, he's gone. And she goes to the authorities trying to find out what happened.
Oh, I can imagine.
And the way she goes from, calm to totally desperate.
It's heartbreaking.
It just breaks your heart.
It takes a lot of talent to pull that off. And she's not just, a victim, She's strong. She's fighting to find out the truth.
Yes.
Even when it's dangerous, she won't be silenced.
You'd think she'd fall apart, but she doesn't. She's the one holding everything together.
She's the glue.
Yeah, like a spark of defiance, in all this mess.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
I think so.
Not just losing someone, but fighting to keep going.
Right. And all this is happening in a country where everyone's afraid.
Yeah.
The film doesn't shy away from that. The danger.
No, it doesn't. It's real, and yet there are these moments of beauty, hope, even with all the bad stuff.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Like when Eunice and the kids are listening to Gal Costa.
Oh, yeah.
That music, it's like a break. It's from all the fear.
Yeah, baby. That scene, it washes over them.
It's like life goes on, even in the dark times. There's still beauty.
It's like Sal's saying, hey, even with this chaos, life keeps going. And there's still beauty to be found.
Exactly. Powerful message, don't you think? When hope is fragile.
Yeah, it is. It really is. The music in this film, it's not just there in the background.
No, it's not.
It's like part of the story.
It really is. Especially in Brazil, music's, it's everything.
Right. And Sal's, he knows that, uses it. Like when Eunice and the kids, they're driving through the countryside and...
Oh, yeah, they're listening to Os Mutantes.
Os Mutantes, yeah. That psychedelic rock. It was huge back then.
Huge.
Such a cool sound. But then you remember what's going on. Their whole world's falling apart.
And it's like the music showing that inner turmoil.
Yeah, exactly. Like trying to hold on to normal life.
Right. Juxtaposition, happy music. But the images, they're telling a different story.
Yeah. Fear, not knowing what's next. It gets to you.
It is. And then there's the opposite, the quiet parts.
Oh, the silence. Yeah.
Salas does that too. Lets the silence just be there.
He's good at that. Like, no dialogue for a while, just wind or the ocean or nothing. And it's almost suffocating. Like, you feel how heavy it is for them. Not saying anything.
Right. The fear they can't talk about. That isolation. Totally alone.
It's like the whole world's gone quiet. And it's just them.
And that brings us back to, that strength. Even with the silence, with being scared, they have each other.
It's like a reminder that Even when everything else is gone, people need people.
Yeah, connection. It can be a lifeline. And that's where those home videos come in, I think.
Oh yeah, the 16 millimeter stuff.
Grainy, but it makes them feel so real.
Like you're right there with them. Before everything went bad,
Authentic. It's like watching their memories.
and then bam, back to reality. Makes it even more jarring.
It does, like a dream, and then you wake up to this nightmare.
Exactly. And Sal's, he wants you to feel that. The loss. How much was taken?
Yeah, that punch in the gut. And speaking of loss, there's that scene near the end.
Oh yeah.
Eunice, she goes to see her mother.
Fernanda Montenegro.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about incredible actresses. Together.
Powerhouse, both of them. And the way Sal's uses the home videos there.
It's rough. It's like a punch to the gut, for real.
Seeing Rubens alive with his kids, so full of life, and then back to Eunice.
Yeah. Years have passed, but the pain's still there.
And it's not just hers, it's the whole country. Losing so much, it's personal, but it's also political. That dictatorship, it affected everyone.
It's like he's saying this isn't just history in a book. It's real people, families torn apart.
Exactly. It's powerful. It goes beyond politics. It's about love, loss, memory, that human spirit that just keeps going.
It's funny. The film never really says what happened to Rubens.
Right.
We see bits and pieces, but no real answers.
Yeah. And that's important, I think, because so many families, they were just left wondering.
Not knowing.
Searching for answers that might never come. And we feel that too, watching the film.
Yeah. You're trying to figure it out right along with them, but you never really know.
No. And that hits harder, in a way, than any neat ending they could have given us.
It does. It makes you realize how unfair it all was. What happened to all those people?
Yeah. And then you think about what that does to people living through something like that, how it stays with them.
It's not just history, right?
Exactly. And that's where I'm Still Here. It becomes more than just a historical film. It's about memory, dealing with the past, how those things shape who we are.
It's like the film itself is remembering him, keeping his story alive.
That's a good way to put it. It shows how powerful stories can be.
Yeah.
For healing, for understanding, so we don't forget.
And this film does that so well. It doesn't hit you over the head with it,
No, it's subtle.
It just shows you, lets you feel it.
Lets you decide.
Yeah. And that's why it stays with you, makes you think.
It gets under your skin.
It does. It really does. And it doesn't give easy answers either, which I think is a good thing.
It makes you work for it.
It does. It's a film that it challenges you to face some hard truths.
It does. But in the end, it leaves you with hope, I think. Not a simple kind of hope, but a hope that comes from strength, from the human spirit, and from remembering those we've lost.
Well said. I'm Still Here is a powerful story about family, loss, and resilience, and I highly recommend it. What do you think? Any last thoughts for our listeners out there?
Yeah, it makes you think, how do we face the dark parts of the past? How do we find strength when things seem impossible? I'm Still Here. It doesn't get the answers, but it makes you ask those questions. So yeah, go see it. You won't regret it.